So earlier this morning, I was working on this video, and then I got news that the Packers actually met with the player that Mel Kiper picked in his mock draft. So things just worked out perfectly, perfect timing. And so as you guys know who watched my previous video today, the Packers apparently met with Jameson Williams, wide receiver from Alabama, as well as Chris Olave, 2 wide receivers. And I was making this video, as I already said, Mel Kiper, who most of you probably know, who does all the draft analysis. He's been doing it for a long, long time. He recently put out a new mock draft, and I wanted to go over the player that he picked. So here is the player he had the Packers picking at number 28, Jameson Williams, wide receiver, Alabama, who did meet with the Packers in the past couple of days. So he says this: the last time the Packers took a wide receiver in round 1, it was Javon Walker all the way back in 2002, back when I was 5 years old. He said, so why not another wideout 20 years later? One who could make Aaron Rodgers' life easier, assuming he stays. Williams was my top-ranked wide receiver before he tore his ACL in the national title game in January, which means he might not be ready to play until late in the 2022 season. For a team expected to play well into January, though, he could be a great addition. Williams averaged 19.9 yards on his 79 catches last season and had 15 touchdowns. He's super explosive. I love this fit, both for team and player. So he has the Packers taking a wide receiver in the first round, which, as he said, hasn't happened since 2002. But I was just curious to see all the times the Packers have drafted wide receivers, which rounds they have drafted them in. And so if you can see this little chart here, which I created myself. So if you look at the Packers wide receivers, they have been really, really good at drafting wide receivers in the second round. So Greg Jennings isn't on this list, but he was drafted in round 2 in 2006, I believe it was. 2008 round 2, Jordy Nelson. 2011 round 2, Randall Cobb. And then probably the best one, 2014 round 2, Devontae Adams. So even though the Packers haven't been spending a first-round pick on wide receiver in a very long time, about 20 years, they've gotten, wide receiver 1 talent out of Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, maybe Randall Cobb, you could say. So they've done pretty good in round 2. But it is interesting that they have met with Jameson Williams and Chris Olave, who both could potentially be around at the end of the first round. Maybe they slip farther than that, but I'm not exactly sure if that will happen. And when you do take a look at the Packers wide receiver situation, as I stated earlier today, there is a lot of uncertainty there. First off, of course, with Devontae, I feel like we'll get a deal done, though. I think Aaron will come back, and I think we're going to get a deal done with Devontae. But if Marquez Valdes-Scantling does not get signed by the Packers, I think it would make much more sense to come in and sign Jameson Williams, just because MVS, being the deep threat that he is, if he's gone, he's definitely someone who's going to need to be replaced. The speed that he has, his deep threat ability to really open up this offense. And I do think Jameson Williams would be a great fit there. As Mel Kiper said, averaging 19.9 yards per reception, in his time there in college. So I think it would be a great fit for the Packers to be able to have Devontae and then Jameson Williams as well would be great. He did tear his ACL, so as he said, he wouldn't be ready till probably later in the 2022 season. But if Aaron Rodgers and Devontae are back, we all already know the Packers are very, very good when it comes to the regular season. So hopefully he would be ready just in time, later in the season when the Packers would potentially need him. And then, going forward for years and years, he could be a great weapon for this Packers team. So honestly, I like the pick. I don't know if the Packers will actually pick a wide receiver in the first round. I wouldn't be opposed. I think it wouldn't be a bad move for the Packers to, boost their wide receiver group, because as you saw from that chart, besides last year picking Amari Rodgers in round 3, in 2019 and 2020, the Packers didn't pick a wide receiver. So I think it is time for the Packers to at least pick a wide receiver, maybe 2 in this upcoming draft. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time.